Obviously, it's going to be difficult with someone like Quez, a new addition, but look how fast this is. A quick drop down ramp from 4, and Mousesports will get the better of those engagements, taking the advantage, taking the A site. And Optic, they're on a double flank here.
Yeah, you haven't just tuned into a retake server. This is the game. And already this pistol round looking like it might draw to a rather abrupt end. This flank gets shut down. And it's on the other side of that smoke. They will just throw another one down. They try and boost up. You can get a little boost over the top of them, and it acts like a nice little one-way. Now, I was very aware of that, already pre-spraying through the smoke, and that will allow them to catch not just MSL, but a lot of damage onto Nico as well. So any hope for Optic winning this round going out the window as more of these bodies get piled up in mid, but that nade's helped out somewhat. Woxi dealt with. That was the one man still left back in middle. Naded out of the round. Oh, Quez nice. With the deagle. Come on, Quezmeister. Second kill, bomb dropped, and now this round gets interesting. I was thinking maybe it was all said and done with so many players held back over in CT, with the B bomb site looking so ripe for the taking. It felt like it should have been a done deal, and now that might not be the case, because 10.SEZON and Quez, they both throw in this whole round into chaos. Rops and Frozen, they've somehow got kills back, and the bomb's going down.
Again, for that pistol round setup, fast push down the A ramp. That bomb's been dropped. Frozen would love to get that out of the map. Release it out of this position. It's going to take it back in, though. Screw it. There's plenty of support here. It shouldn't be a problem for Mousesports to make quick work of these two pistols left. Rops drops in from behind. He'd run right up middle, and that will be...
Maybe that's the reason for it. MSL was ready and waiting for that boost, and even then, Frozen still gets the better of him. So that AWP is actually already dropped away. My hopes and dreams of seeing MSL rise to his former glory, not going to happen in this round, but one man who might, Config, finds that equalizer over at ramp.
Nice trade either way. Config gets himself a second, but Rops has been good so far. 6-0 right now.
First and only point of contact here at the A site, and he's already lit up the first man. Woxi going down. That's the bomb dropped. It will get retrieved, and Molotov to try and deny the plant. They have to stick it, so that's allowed Nico to mop up another. It's Rops left standing. Oh, and that's almost the kill to 10.SEZON as well. Not quite, though. Rops is certainly looking warmed up regardless. He's 7-1 after that first death. Defuse comes in. Optic, they will get the round.
And looking for another opening kill, but this boost again has been employed. Oh, it's so close.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know who's seeing what. Can we see MSL's vision? Okay. So neither one of them really has that great a view on each other. Instead, let's see, Mousesports, they bring gifts for the Goblin King, and he is not amused. He emerges from his hidey hole and does strike the first man from the tally. In a matter of seconds, actually, it's all players of Mousesports going down. Frozen throwing into this clutch, and not going to happen today. Optic.
B-play, Chris is trying to get in early, but the double nade is there. I like that. Bouncing it off the wall, catching anyone moving through that doorway. Optic not choosing to throw down that spawn smoke, just rather take the fights instead. And versus pistols, I don't blame them. Rops holding for a mid-peak. Pretty heavy mid setup, considering they're going to get baited in by MSL, and then Nico's on the corner to swing with the SMG. This should be lethal, but MSL's moved off the angle. Nico's hung out to dry. He's all alone. He's got to do it with no support, but 2 kills, that'll be worth it. MSL moves in to finish off the round, and Config is there for the help as well.
Now we've got the buy back in for Mousesports. They do this boost pretty much every round, trying to deny any early ramp control.
Before. Not going to go as deep as maybe they would have hoped, but... Flash in mid, and Nico's just going to line up 2. He avoids it, playing in that boost. Mousesports, they've lost all of their split ability. It's just about executing onto a site now, but Optic Gaming with the advantage still have 2 players here and a third ready, waiting in the wings to rotate through CT. That's Nico. Tess is again playing this boost spot. Such a good position. Molotov down, but Karrigan's ready for it. He's going to hit the headshot. Can he follow up? Yes. Double entry from the in-game leader, and his teammates don't even need to move onto the site. It's clear. The bomb's down. They can just play passive. Chris has taken a very big foothold here towards elevators, but Frozen is just holding that flank from CT, or from lower, rather.
Yeah, with the bomb out in the open, if you're Optic and you don't flush these players out of the site quickly, this round can fall through your fingers all on the back of Frozen. That kill onto Karrigan helps out massively. Chris J's even been dinked up. So now Frozen swooping in, might have just saved the day. Able to best Nico, and even it's good night.
If you're holding it, sure. Wow, nice start. If you're holding it...
And so as a result, Optic, they can have 3 players here quick as you like. They do lose MSL on that entry, though. And so now things get a bit complicated here for the Optic Gaming boys. Push coming in, and Config able to get one from the window. There is still a chance now as they pulled it back into a 3-on-3.
Oh, Quez has gone above. They're going to spam, though. Every shot he fires only draws their attention towards him. 8 points of health, and Config is gone. He came back around through the doorway. It's all about 10.SEZON on this flank. They're not checking it. Rob swivels and gets the kill. Now it's just the 8 health. Can't get off the top of the blue boxes. Unfortunate beginning and unfortunate ending.
You think about the introduction of Cobblestone and Overpass, and there was always like variations of new things being trickled out, but from the offset we could always look at it and go, well, it's T-sided, it's CT-sided, blah blah blah. Here, I don't know, man. It still felt like I don't really know which way it leans, because it does very much depend on what we see teams bringing to the table.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
And so I kind of like how much of a repertoire for change and how many little niche things you can find on Vertigo, and a lot of that coming from the verticality.
That being said, things change over time, right? Not just due to changes the map, but also meta, right? Cobble changed from being CT to T-sided, CT-sided. You know, that was an adjustment. That wasn't even necessarily down to map changes specifically. So, you know, there's always, you know, it's always going to depend on the matchup. Oh, this is I was going to say that rotate would have been a questionable one for 15 seconds, but they're going back to get the bomb, bring it to the site. They've already cleared it. But yeah, I mean, over time, this map is only going to be learnt more, right? And no, surely. Oh, that's the round. Unless they can kill Quez, he's still on the site. He's hidden at the back, and he's just won it by being alive. I thought, surely not.
He's even dropped the orb.
You could expect, but what a way to lose to a 2-on-4 there. And pistols as well. Now MSL's feeling pumped. Now
he is communicating this to the rest of his team. Rotations have already come in, and this A site is just swarming with Danes. Nico's on the back, trying to return to his flock. He's dropped the bomb. Woxi left up alone. MSL in with 3. How many players? Oh.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean...
Time to slaughter.
Yeah, when the nade lines up like that, it's normally a bit of a grim foreshadowing of the round to come, and they do all just get...
Mousesports decided to flash into the middle, but look how easy you can dodge those flashbangs when you play in that window. You can just walk to the side and they get blocked by the corner of your vision. Config moving in, but Woxi was already ready for that, and the mid smoke coming down to allow Mousesports to move into this mid to be set up. Chris J walking up the ramp. MSL goes through the smoke to his own demise. Quez, he's got to hold strong, and he's got to do it alone. Gets spotted, gets a kill, but the trade is there, and that's the B site gone. That's likely the round, unless Tessus' flank can find something, but the bomb.
Yeah, the bomb is still back in T-Spawn. This is a matchmaking grade blunder for Mousesports. And for TeSeZ, likely it's not going to give him an avenue back into this round, right? It shouldn't be a problem. They should just be able to go get that bomb, get into the bomb site. But it's giving him time to move. It's giving him time to find these one-on-ones. Mousesports, they were kind of looking for TeSeZ, right? They were trying to feel out where this last man is.
Oh, God.
And oh, no. Now down to the 1v1.
Trying to get him to give away his position. He has, and he's got the kill with it as well. Yet to make it onto the plant spot, though. And climbing on top as well. Carrigan going through this smoke. That's not going to work out. Nico is ready for it, and they can flash back in, but they've actually blinded themselves. Not to worry. Config's there instead. He's found a kill. Frozen is still inside of this site, and Optic are none the wiser, but it might not matter. Tess is spamming through the smoke and getting the advantage even further for Optic. It's a 5-on-2. The bomb may be down, and it may be half-ticked, but Optic can dedicate a player to sticking that defuse. Robs. Oh, he catches the cross. 2 massive kills. It's still winnable for Mousesports. The time is in their favor. Woxi just needs to stay alive, and Optic is sticking the defuse. Quez is sticking the defuse. He's won the round for Optic. Defended by... Oh dear, they're going to get 2 for 1. That's pretty good for Mousesports. Pistols in the B site. Woxi, he didn't quite grab a gun there. Frozen's on A, and he's found another kill as well. That is a gun, and that's a free bomb site. Woxi can bail, because Frozen's got so deep. He is now in the CT spawn. Weapon still not taken. Maybe to almost bait players in, I guess. Make them think that he's backed up. But this bomb, you know, loudly rotating through CT is going to be very clear. MSL spots a player. Now, does he get confused and think that's TeSeZ? Especially considering that gun is still dropped. If he walks in and doesn't check his right angle, things could get claustrophobic. Nico is on this wrap again, and considering how good he's been on these rotations, he might be able to save the day. There's Rops down, and the bomb isn't.
Yeah, that's still working its way up here on the back of Woxi. They've got 40 seconds. They might try and wrap through CT. Without that ramp control, this A site is pretty horrid to work with as a terrorist. So they try and reroute. And oh, they've just missed MSL.
Oh,
but he's got an inkling.
masterful.
He's got a hunch. They've cleared the site. They haven't seen anyone now. They know it's CT and Frozen. First man to offer himself up does not survive the channel crossing. It's Woxi now trying to get this bomb planted. He closes all the doors, trying to give himself every sound cue possible for these rotations. Oh, he spots Nico, but it's not the kill. Tries to set up to play around the door that he's closed. Just back to this B ramp crawl. Done well to get this foothold, configure the window. Oh my goodness, look at him. He's sandwiched between middle and ramp, and that is a horrid spot to be in. Quez, no matter what he does, he can't really help config out of that. So the trade, really the best possible option for Optic. 10.SEZON once again active with this ramp control. He's been very, very good at knowing when he can and can't afford to move into this position. And so last time we saw him get this deep down at ramp, it was just this three-man stack towards mid and B for Optic. This shroud maybe going to be more of the same, as you've already got Nico waiting over at the squeaky door. Quez still alone at this B bomb site. Interesting to note.
They're going to boost.
Oh, yeah, they've thrown him up in the boost. It's a boost in a boost. It's boostception, and Rops gets a kill from it. Quez falling at the B site. Nico, he's been a steamroller, and he is flattening them now. Oh, it doesn't quite get Frozen, who's now going to fight for his life in the 1v2. He has tagged up MSL, and he's tapping this bomb, trying to bait the peaks. Nothing coming through from 10.SEZON, so he's been able to get that bomb down. Smoke drop close. He's trying to play around it, and MSL on the other side. 10.SEZON still just waiting with bated breath down at the ramp, hoping that MSL can be that information man and make the call. 10.SEZON can come in and be the hero. And that is the case, emerging from ramp.
And double kill for him. Mousesports feeding the beast here down on the ramp. Woxi holding on to middle, and he's got the P2K, but only good for one. Advantage sitting in Optic's favor, but not the site. Frozen's still here. Optic going to use this moment to move deeply into middle, but it still will end on B. Great shot from Quez, finding the dink and finished off by Nico on the P250. It's just Karrigan alone now. Can he do anything to stop this? The plant is already in, and missed shots. He's going to get flanked.
Not what I was expecting.
Wait, what?
It's always awkward. You can't blame Woxi, and you can't really blame Frozen either. It was just one of those awkward moments. He crosses in front of the scout. There's another one. We could add that to the tally.
Yeah, put it on the list. Jeez.
Put that on the Mousesports. The whole squad just struggling early on. Obviously, that was just the force buy, so you can't read too much into it. Yeah, I mean, this one's signed, sealed, and delivered, right? This is locked in. A 12th round for Optic. Guaranteed at this point in time. Finish round in the next, so very, very flushed for cash over on the teaser.
And just add that to the tally here for Optic. Chris, that's a start. AWP on B. He's got quite a few players to deal with, though, dropping off after they see them in closer, making these SMGs, making these Galils better. Rops flashed. Chris gets aggressive with the help of Frozen, and that's another advantage. Rops spraying. This could be the round that Mousesports desperately need, and 2 kills from Rops has left Quez alone, and now he's dead too. 7 rounds from Mousesports, 5 alive.
Right, I peeked there to get the view on Woxi, but Woxi follows up, and he's still fighting. He's still going, doubling up at ramp. With it, he's dropped the bomb. And Mousesports
thinking better. 5-on-2. Woxi, he needs to hit the shot, or he's dead. He's down to 20. And not much time for Optic to make a move either. Frozen playing anti-flash, Karrigan just waiting for the cross. That's a smoke. It's going to cut off Woxi, but the nade will do worse. There's a good trade from Frozen as Karrigan gets shot looking the wrong way. Quez now has to clutch, and he started it off, but so low on time, on health, on chance.
3 players here. Has Optic looked to make a dent?
Oh, what a ballsy move from Karrigan. He pushes right through that smoke to try and contain the site. 1 kill, but double trade back, and Optic are in. Rops will not give up this boost position, though. He's dropped another. Trades back and forth. Rops going above, but he's fully flashed, and he's making noise falling off that site. Config should know exactly where he is now. Doesn't want to rush this bomb plant. Nice nade. Rops down to 50. 30 seconds here. Config still stuck inside of the site. Re-smoke to allow him to cross to safety. Go for a plant that isn't spammable, only peekable by Woxi, who misses the shot, and he's getting tagged through the wall as well. This is getting dicey. How the hell have Optic gotten all 3 players out of the site? This is perfect for this T side.
Yeah, there's still that smoke on Woxi, so you've got to be a bit tempted to go for this if you're Mouse. They throw the smoke on the bomb, hoping that's going to bait a peek out from one of these ramp players, at least force them into the prying eyes of Woxi. Rops tapping the bomb, does have a kit, baits the peek out from ramp, has a lot to do. He's going to tap the bomb again, and he's good at baiting these peaks, but it's not winning a round. Nico's there to finish. They
need to get something out of it. That's a shot, MSL. Finally, Harry, he gets what he's wanted all game long. That winning fight. Tagged Woxi last time he did it, and still died. Karrigan, oh, he's seen the barrel, and he's hit the tag, but they're already so close, and he's got no teammate to save him this time. Optic getting the entry, and he's already on the site. They know that Frozen is trapped. Woxi defending his teammates. Nice setup. Frozen spamming the deagle, and Woxic's on a double, finishing off the job that Karrigan started. Nico has to take over the B site, and luckily, the bomb is right behind him. Optic still have a chance in this round.
Look at him go. Fast feet, fast as anything, but Robs. Bullets are even faster. He'll chase Nico to the end of the earth and back. And now it's Quez. Alone 1-on-3, does shut down the first, and he even spots Frozen on his CT rotation. He's actually looking for this fight. Drops the molly, trying to play over the top of the incandescence of the fire. Time ticking down. Mousesports trying to get a move on, trying to up the pace, and it's Frozen landing that shot. Round goes the way of Mouse. They'll grab that defuse.
They put Optic on Eco. We still have 4K per player mostly. Gonna have everything next round with that AWP. MSL is more than keen on taking that towards a ramp. Tess is trying to spam, but... And here come the corpses.
Yeah, aptly named, as they are corpses. Just Quez left up. And he's probably not going to do much. Maybe a couple of nice deegs here and there. He'll treat us to that. But a critical round once again that Mouse are going to be able to keep clean. They keep all 5. That's what that is.
Top of the head, mate. It's impossible to hit. There's 3 players on either side of this forklift. Tess is catching Karrigan, getting very aggressive, and still moonwalking down this ramp is Chris and Frozen. I wonder what's going to happen when this unfreezes.
Give me your prediction, Hugo. How do you think this one?
Dead.
Oh, it's actually not as juicy as you made out. Yeah.
Chris and Karrigan have fallen.
Oh, and Rop's winning his fight out over towards B. They try and rotate that bomb round, but now that's kind of throwing a question mark. That said, I mean, they know that Rops is here. They want to try and get him while they know they've got him, but the problem is, do you ever really have him? Rops tripling up, and that is the bomb dropped. The Miracle Man
down the stairs. There's so many T's, though. How on earth does he get 3? I don't know. He'll take it. Chris should be able to mop up this job. He's got a teammate supporting him in the window, if not, but Chris don't need no help.
Take it in.
He pushed down, and what he did is he bounced it off the wall as to not give away his position. It made him seem like he threw it from the site, the smoke that Chris J has been throwing consistently. Either way, Optic throwing nades on A, but take a look at that bomb. It's still in the middle here. It's not committed just yet. That's a blind shot through a smoke from Karrigan. Legs Tess's. He doesn't know it just yet, though. Getting boosted. Tess is going through this smoke. Potentially, that could be huge. Frozen's killed MSL. In the meantime, this B play coming through with the bomb. Karrigan getting caught, but the trade is immediate, and it might not matter after all because there's still 2 players left on this B bomb site. Quez walking into the crossfire, and Rops and Woxi
in the sniper tower back at CT. He's going to have a shooting gallery come his way.
Well, you would think so, but the smoke's completely limiting Optic or Mousesports' view into this site. It's going to have to be a 5-on-5 retake. Not an awful situation considering they're on pistols. And great kills out of nowhere. Optic suddenly just line up 2 frags, pushing into the elevator room, but they line up, and Woxi suddenly dragged them back into the round by storm. Nico, though, has been on a tear. Been a bit quiet in these past few rounds. Frozen's going to check him as well, and that makes matters worse. Tess is alone, cannot continue with the deagle, and although Mousesports have every Everyone
again.
below
You can
30.
see Quez is trying to get up the ladder. The wallbangs are coming in. Ooh, Rop's falling, however. Chris, that's a big trade to get. Nico was alone at B, so thankfully there's no one nearby to trade that out or try and capitalize on the Rop's kill.
Regardless, a huge scope to find. We talk about Rops and Frozen having a great game. Rops is on 30 kills, Frozen's on 24. These two are quite literally carrying Mousesports to victory lane. And on the other side of things, the one player who's having a great game is also dead. That's Nico. So where do Optic go from here? Both teams losing their best performer in this map so far, but everything to play for. Molly on the boost. Karrigan has been playing there time and time again, but this time he's on the site and they boosted up. Round the wood wall, Tessis is going to get that kill. This jump should be heard, and Tessis takes the feet out from below. Chris is gone. Woxi gets domed by a nade. That hits him in the eyeballs. No amount of sensitivity can save you there. Frozen now has to clutch a 1-on-4.
Ah, but he's got an idea as to where Tesses might be, anticipating that maybe he's got aggressive. Frozen, they've got plenty of money. He can definitely afford to stick his head in and at least try and take some of these guns away. Grabs that incendiary and MSL, things are about to get very hot where you are, my friend, into the crosshair of Frozen. So it's a nice kind of cool relief, I guess, washing over him. Frozen, yeah, is just looking to maximize damage, maximize how many of these weapons he can take away.
Nice.
And he's taken a lot to the grave with him. A bounty of treasure locked to the depths. Frozen.
It would be good, but the flash is better. Config's ready for it, though. Doesn't get blinded, and only damage done by Karrigan. Not enough. A kill for Optic in a 5-on-4, and the A site was still being their final destination. Chris is getting spammed through the wall, and Mousesports just can't catch a break. This is looking good for Optic. They're going to take some utility damage, but they have the site under their control.
Oh, Woxi strikes one from the tally. Config getting in to his hidey hole. Up above, that's the Goblin King's throne, but down beneath, they're the Goblin tunnels, and that's where Config sits right now. Woxi missing his shot. Tesses in with another. It's Rops and Frozen. These two, we described them as big heroes for Mousesports. Well, now they've got to be that more than ever. Nico and Quez on the receiving end of this dynamic duo. Frozen looking to tap the bomb. Flash goes high. Rops trying to watch his teammates back, but he doesn't quite get it. Tap the bomb. Frozen baits the peek from Quez. There's no time, though. Molotov reigns in, just posted up with the orb. Looking at the ramp. Oh, it doesn't get MSL, and actually Tesses is there to open. Damage being done on either side. It's a bit of chaos there. But ultimately, Optic, they decide to grind to a bit of a halt. They've slowed down momentarily. Lining up all that utility, trying to give themselves a veil to work within this bomb site. But oh, Chris J hidden close to the smoke. First man's gone. Woxi's there to help. And Quez, Nico, they're asked to clutch once again. This time, though, it's a 2 versus 4. So many bodies on the opposing side, and it's only Nico left. Woxi
doesn't get him. MSL actually gets a shot off, and Woxi only a tag. 13 points of health on the IGL/AWP player, and another opening kill for Optic. Things are looking up.
I want to know, is MSL like phoned up the guys who made Vertigo and got that yellow sheet replaced with just like Kevlar or something? Because every time that Woxi has tried to deal with MSL by shooting through after he spot the barrel, it's never quite connected. And that round there, even on the re-peak, he gets shut down, right? And things like that, they can get to you. Frozen.
Oh, goes both ways,
yeah,
I guess.
He's helped out a bit. He's helped out.
Bit of a wall spam.
By the way, him and Rops, both above 30 kills.
Yeah.
So they are having, to say like a lights out game feels like an understatement. It's so dark. They can't even see this B play before their very eyes, but there's Rops at least making his presence known. That slowed down the push, and rotations have arrived. So Optic, they've got to run the gauntlet. They don't have a choice. There's 20 seconds left. You've got to get into the site. Finding Rops was a nice start, but Frozen, oh, he's still up here. I don't think they know. He's trying to deal with the bomb plant. Karrigan asked to clutch now, gets the first man. Only Config left to find. The smoke is down, and Karrigan gets it. That Mousesports have received. And now the real utility pours on over. Realization's all too clear. Rops is in the Goblin angle, and he's quickly snuffed up by Tesses. Quez is holding this wrap as well, so Woxi's flank They try to throw in, likely not going to yield too much here, but no, he's won that fight over Quez, and that is a huge fight to win. Now, there's only 2 players inside of the site for Optic, and they've got to worry about this flank. Where do you even find the time to get this bomb down? Nico has at least given them a window of opportunity. Config, yeah, there's no chance for him there. They just hound him down through the smoke. 17 rounds for Mouse. Since getting into the overtime, at any point have been aware just how much control Mouse have been exuding. Carrigan! He only sees the tip of the head, and that's all he needs to see. I'm going to hold my my thought on that one, because this A play, all right, it's had its steam sucked out of it, but that Molotov has actually segregated a player away from the rest of the bunch over at ramp. 10.SEZON luckily doesn't have to go too much further forward than that. He'll throw in his utility. This just feels like the A play again from Optic. They're hoping it can yield some fruit, but it just has been so problematic this whole overtime.
Oh, that's a lot of damage, Harry. Tess is down to just measly 20. He's going to get flashed through. Oh, they have their back turn. Woxi flicking back to get that kill. Keeps Mousesports in this just by the skin of their teeth. MSL's watching for the boost, and Carrigan gives him the frag. MSL, he doesn't spot the player on top of the site, but he sees Chris coming through the connector. Molotov won't work. Smoke extinguishes it. And now MSL can just sit back on the sandbags. Bomb is not for him, though. They need to get on that defuser. Time is ticking. The kills are coming through. It's Quez alone, a 1-on-3 that was never meant to be. Frozen finishing things off, and that will be a flawless
last time, hopefully. Oh no, and that's the thing, Nico falling, what a man to find. He was a real shining star for Optic. You deal with him over in the window. No one wants to be the first man to die for Optic right now, and it's him. Nico's just got to sit back and hope his teammates can keep that dream alive. Config attempting to do exactly that, does at least trade things out by finding ROPs and trying to equalize and thin these numbers out. 10.SEZON doing all he can. He's rotated back towards A, and he'll spot Frozen. I think that's probably enough to pull these rotations, right? Optic, they just take the gamble. They rotate players over. They've dealt with Frozen, so Quez, there's that moment of hesitation. Now he's considering it, and that smoke going in has given this up. Quez waiting on the other side, and he could deny this whole round, but he's been pre-fired down, so the plant locked in at the very least.
Yeah, he gets out of the site, you know, safely, but down to 6 HP, this is going to be rough. Oh, the angle is good. Through the body, Config gets that kill on Carrigan. It's Chris alone, 1-on-3, 1 player low. He's pushed up. TeSeZ is holding it, but Chris has got the drop on him. Quez is still stuck inside of the site. Config on the bomb already. He's just going to stick it, go for the full defuse, faked it. Now Chris is just in a 1v1, and he's closed out the map off the back of it. What a clutch.